Hello, fellow guitar geeks. This is the UniVibe from J.Rockett. It is an analog UniVibe pedal with a digital reverb that, to my ears, sounds absolutely chef's kiss gorgeous. I'm guessing the reverb part of this pedal is pretty self-explanatory, but the UniVibe part might be new to you. So if it is, let's talk a little bit about what the UniVibe actually is. The original UniVibe effect was actually a failed attempt at recreating a Leslie rotary speaker way back in the 1960s. Shinai wanted to take that huge rotating speaker cabinet, which was pretty hard to carry around, and compact it into something you could just throw in a gig bag. They failed, but they created something even more beautiful and far more iconic in the guitar world. Now, J.Rockett sent this pedal to me, but they did not include a manual, but I think the controls are pretty simple to understand. So we've got the UniVibe part of the pedal mostly over here, and the reverb part of the pedal mostly over here. 3-foot switches, this one to turn the UniVibe or chorus on and off, this one to switch between vibe and chorus, which on the original was a rocker switch. So J.Rockett have added a foot switch so you can do it, according to them, on the fly. And over here is the reverb on and off. Up here is a super important knob, the output of the pedals. This is a master volume. If this is all the way down, you're not going to get any sound. So let's keep that roughly where I had it. The speed knob controls the speed of the vibe and the chorus, but the chorus mix controls only how much chorus is mixed with the dry signal. So all the way down here, you're going to get absolutely zero chorus. Up here, you're going to get a full chorus mix. Let's put that somewhere back around there. So over here we've got the intensity knob, which is the intensity of chorus and the vibe, nothing to do with the reverb. So let's try that. Let's put that chorus mix a bit up. And this operates a little bit like a depth on a chorus. So the more intense it is, the more depth you have in that modulation. Up here we've got the reverb level. Final knob is dwell, which is reverb only. It's how long the reverb tails are, how long that reverb hangs around for. So you can have a small mix of the reverb, a small intensity. But you can have a really long dwell. Or a really short dwell. Actually not that short, it's still pretty long. Yeah. Okay. So it's still pretty long, even on. Did I go all the way minimum? Okay, you can hear quite a difference there. So the position of a UniVibe in your chain is extremely important. I mean, there are no rules really. There are benefits of having certain signal chains, but there are no rules of where pedals should go. You can experiment, and as long as you're happy with the sound, then that's how it should sound. However, as a rule, to contradict myself, the UniVibe pedal should normally go first in the chain. But this pedal has got reverb also, so what about a drive? Well, I've been lying to you so far. You have not been hearing the sound of the UniVibe, you've been hearing the sound of the UniVibe plus a fuzz pedal in the effects loop. The more eagle-eyed of you will have seen that there are 4 jack cables just here. So this is our input coming from my guitar, and this is the output going to the amp. Then we've got a 9 volts power supply in the middle. Then this is the effects loop. This send is going to the input of a Cornell Legacy fuzz pedal. Then the output of that fuzz pedal is coming back in to the return of the UniVibe. Now there is of course no limit to how many pedals you can have in this effects loop, as long as you're buffered and all the rest of that. So you can put your entire pedal board in that effects loop if you wish, therefore having the UniVibe first, where it likes to be, then having all the rest of your board and all your drives and fuzzes and distortions if you have them, then finally coming back into the UniVibe, into the reverb of the UniVibe, into your amp, into your clean amp probably, because you want to get that reverb nice and clean. Or maybe you don't. As I said, no rules. But I guess the point here is that the UniVibe can act as your first pedal and your last pedal by utilizing the effects loop for all your other effects pedals. One final thing, I forgot to mention that the red LED indicates the vibe effect and the green LED indicates the chorus effect. So now that I've explained the pedal, let's hear it a little bit more. I'll do my top 5 tones. For this next tone, I'm going to start off with the reverb on, but the UniVibe effect turned off, and then turn the UniVibe on. Listen out for how when I kick in this side, the tone thickens up, and it's not a huge night and day difference, but when you turn it off, the guitar tone seems bland and thin and boring. It's a secret sauce. Okay, for this one, I'm going full-on Jimi Hendrix, very wobbly. Okay, let's switch to humbuckers. This is the Maybach Albatroz PAF style SG guitar. I've decided I'm only playing white guitars in this video, so here we go. I'm in the in-between position to give it a bit of honkiness. For this final tone, I've got the intensity and the speed maxed with a mix of 50-50 on the chorus mode. It sounds like this. But in the effects loop, I'm going to put the fab tone from Danelectro. That's what it sounds like if you turn pretty much everything up apart from the volume, the output volume. I didn't want to do that. That would just blow the audio interface and our ears. But those are my top 5 tones from the UniVibe from J.Rockett. Let's talk about the inside of the pedal. It's drill time. We're going to open up the enclosure and see what's going on inside this €500 pedal. So let's see what's inside the J.Rockett Uni-Verb. Loads of stuff! Right, okay, there is our big Accutronics digital reverb chip, or I want to call it a tank. It isn't, but we're going to call it a tank. That is the Digilog Reverb BTDR2H, very famous, one of my most favorite reverbs, and beautiful in the kaleidoscope from Jupiter Effects as well, if I'm not mistaken. Over here, wonderfully, over to the UniVibe side, we have a photo cell. So this really is a real UniVibe. It's not a phaser. It's not anything digital. That's what's operating our UniVibe, as it should be. And then everything else just looks very neatly made with a pretty much standardly well-made J.Rockett circuit and enclosure. So the enclosure itself is like a double J.Rockett pedal. But that's where your money's going. It has a trim pot, which I'm not going to mess with because the sound is so beautiful. I really don't want to destroy it. Or No, I'm not going to. But if you buy one and you want to affect the trim pot inside, it's that one just there, look. By all means, let me know in the comment section how it affects the tone. It could be setting the maximum range of the speed. Looking at what's going on in there, it's just underneath this section called depth, or it could be the amount of depth. But J.Rockett say that this pedal has more extremities than the original UniVibe, so it's even more tweakable than an original. It's a well-made, pretty, I don't want to say standard because it's good. It's a well-made J.Rockett pedal. What else were you expecting? The UniVibe from J.Rockett is a beautiful, musical, inspiring pedal. When I plugged into this and I had it on the subtle settings, it's one of those pedals that I think at its most beautiful is when it's just being heard, and then if you turn it off, you kind of miss that tone. So the subtleness is what I like, the subtlety. But also the extremities are still not too extreme. They're still musical, they're still usable. And I especially liked it when I stuck it with the Danelectro Fab Tone. I thought it was an amazing warble box of noise. Speaking of boxes, I think the design is beautiful. I like that it's close enough to the original UniVibe to be recognizable, but still J.Rockett enough and custom boxed and far enough from the original design that it is something special and more than just a UniVibe clone. It's not just a UniVibe, of course, it's more than, but it's not quite two pedals, even though the effects loop is always active, so it doesn't matter if you have the reverb on or off, or the UniVibe section on or off, the effects loop is always on if something's plugged in. And then you can also use the reverb and the UniVibe independently of one another. So you have 3 possibilities of sounds, or 4, including the chorus and vibe switch. And that makes it very versatile. But the kind of thing that might be understated is the volume at the top. Is that the volume? Yeah. The volume at the top, because the original UniVibe, which I have played, I think 2 or 3 of, original UniVibes, they had a bit of a volume drop, and you find that with modulation and tremolos, so a modern update to the UniVibe side is very, very welcome. One thing I should say is that the speed just here, most of that speed is in the last sort of third of the knob. So down here, not much happens, but that's great because you can control super, super levels of intensity with low levels of speed. So you can get a nice little subtle warble, as I said. And that means that it does go from that subtle always on sound. Like I would have that always on subtly with the chorus just to thicken up a tone. I think it sounds gorgeous. And then if you really wanted something more extreme, you can definitely whack up the intensity and speed and switch between the chorus and the vibe to do something more noticeable. But it is one of those pedals that when you have it on subtle and then you turn it off, you really, really miss it. Saying that about going from subtle to extreme, it doesn't have an expression pedal input. And I really, really think that would have been the sort of icing on the cake. So I'm kind of missing that because the original has the foot pedal that you can adjust the speed. And if you could do that with this, that would really, really bring this home. I guess I need to focus on the price just for a moment. It is a lot of money. 500 euros is a lot of change for a pedal. However, this is not for someone who's looking for a cheap vibe, a cheap chorus, a cheap reverb. It's not. There's so many pedals out there that cover that ground. This really is for you if you're looking for one of the best of the best. If you're just looking for a UniVibe, there are other options. There are many, many, many on the market. However, this, with this effects loop, is kind of an all-in-one modulation reverb thing. And that is definitely going on my board with my band. I would have had it on my board already, but we had a gig, and I didn't want to have any spoilers in case anyone took any photos and posted them on social media. So I say that, we have a gig coming up, but when you're watching this, the gig will have happened. One of the best pedals I've played this year, hands down. Thank you, J.Rockett, for again bringing out another stonker of a pedal. That's it from me and this musical box of wonder. If you've made it this far, it means you are at the end of the video. And because you're at the end of the video, you're in the end of the video club. And to prove that you are a member of this prestigious elite, when you leave a comment telling me what you think of the UniVibe, please also include the phrase, "Dwell, dwell, dwell." That will let me know that you watched this part of the video, and it will feed the YouTube gods of the algorithm and push this video up so more people can see it. Thank you for doing that. Before I leave you, if you want to hear some UniVibe inspirational music, then check out the track by Robin Trower called Bridge of Sighs. There's also some UniVibe on Gravity by John Mayer, And Hear My Trainer Comin' from Jimi Hendrix is one of the best UniVibe tracks you'll ever hear. So, that is it. Thank you to J.Rockett for sending this out. I hope you found this video interesting, informative, and entertaining. I will see you very soon. Subscribe button down there. You know what to do. I'll see you. Bye.